Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself? Younger, more beautiful, more perfect.
Just over a week ago, I purchased a ticket and went to see
The Substance.
That guy's voice is oddly soothing. I don't know why. Anyway, we need to talk about this movie because it's been a while since a movie has left this much of an impact on me while walking out of the theater. And don't get me wrong, this is the type of movie where the less you know, the better. The more blind you go into it might benefit your experience, but I just had to talk about this. And obviously I won't spoil anything, but the movie's just been living rent-free in my mind for the past week, and I need to get as many people to watch this as soon as I possibly can. First and foremost, before I talk about how much this movie will have you overdose on its style and technical aspects, if this movie didn't have an incredibly strong narrative with incredibly strong characters, I wouldn't be glazing the fuck out of this movie.
This shit means something to me, man.
Because the story has multiple themes that it deals with. It has themes of depression, anxiety, addiction, body dysmorphia. But the main point that it drives home is kind of how Hollywood treats people in the entertainment industry. And I've seen kind of one big criticism against this movie, and it's that, you know, the main message is delivered heavy-handed or bluntly. But for me, there's so many other things that it touches on with subtlety while still giving it layers and depth that criticism just isn't that strong to me. Now, the movie kind of deals with pretty much two characters, which are the leads, played by Margaret Qualley and Demi Moore. And as a personal The Nice Guys truther, I just want to say, I was not familiar with your game, Margaret. Dennis Quaid is also great in here. He's kind of the third supporting character, playing like this scumbag higher up of a studio. It's pretty simple, but he plays it to perfection. But man, this dynamic between Demi Moore's Elizabeth and Margaret Qualley's Sue, it's amazing. I mean, it's this relationship where they have to follow rules, but the way it evolves is just, it's truly something to behold. The minute their involvement is introduced, you simply cannot take your eyes off the screen. And that leads to my other point, being the film is gorgeous. And I mean, the cinematography and just style in this film is phenomenal. Shots in here with a European flair that you just don't see a lot of. Certain choices made with the camera that emphasize every single thing on screen, whether that's the bottom of a trash can or someone smoking a cigarette. And the score, I mean, you heard it at the beginning of the video. It's pulsating. It fills an entire room, along with some sound effects that will genuinely have your stomach turning. And I can go on and on about how this film crushes it when it comes to the technical aspects, but the effects in this movie are ridiculous. Walking out of the movie, I thought to myself, how much did this cost? How did they get the funding? How did they make this? There's visual effects in here that are just pristine, literally flawless. But the practical effects, yeah, this movie goes all in. It's gruesome, tangible, gory, and just overall pretty disturbing. The type of feeling that makes you want to look away, but also engulfs you into this world and these characters and this substance. This isn't set in real life. It's clearly a very heightened version of the world, but that's part of the style. See, while the film oozes with synthesized music and wide shots that'll leave your jaw on the floor, it is a full-on body horror. And just when you think they met the bar or pushed the limit, they completely leap over it 10 minutes later. It drives the point home, but gives that point humongous stakes that reach levels that you simply cannot predict. It's not just body horror and gore for body horror and gore's sake. There's rules with the substance, and if you don't follow those rules, it's clear that consequences will ensue. It all has a purpose within the story, but man, this is the type of movie that will come up in 20 or 30 years when talking about body horror classics. It's very Cronenbergian, The Fly-esque, but also has the touches of an Elephant Man, classic Universal monster movies, indie sci-fi films, and even schlocky trauma movies. Like, I'm not even joking. It goes for it, and it makes that clear, especially within the final 10 minutes of the movie. The ending of it is insane. Will leave your jaw on the floor. You might like it, you might dislike it, but it swings for the fences and leaves you in a state of awe, genuinely walking out of the movie theater going, what did I just watch? And that's just special anytime you get that. Like, if you're a horror movie fan, right, or you don't get kind of squeamish to blood or gross sounds or body horror, I can't recommend this movie enough. Like, it is phenomenal. It will leave you speechless, but will live in your head for the next few months. It leaves such an imprint, and it's in my top 5 of the year. Like, it's genuinely that great. 𝙭 delivers something that is clearly inspired, but still so incredibly unique. It gives it its own foot stamp in this genre, in the body horror kind of space. It's really extreme, but never comes off kind of try hard, like it's trying to push it just to push it, or delivering blood just to deliver blood. Demi Moore is delivering a straight up powerhouse of a performance. Like, this is truly her movie at the end of the day, and the film asks so much from her, especially in that second half. It's the type of performance that come award season people will bring up as a huge snub. Trust me, it's completely and was surprisingly transportive, and most likely might go down as the best horror film of 2024. It's absolutely insane. It's bonkers. Any words to describe it won't do it justice. Like, there's movies where people walk out of the theater and go, no matter how much I talk about it or whatever I say, you will not be prepared. No, this is that movie, like, to a T. I mean, no matter what I say, I can give you straight up details about scenes that happen in this movie, and you still won't be prepared. It's things like the style that take it up a notch. The performances are phenomenal, and just overall the sensibility and the feeling that this movie gives you is kind of like a high almost. Things get intense, the stakes get so high, and it ends up getting to a point where you can't fathom. It's truly remarkable. Like, if you haven't seen this movie, please do yourself a favor, go buy a ticket to The Substance, go watch it. Like I said, if you're not squeamish to that kind of body horror and stuff like that, I mean, I don't see how you would regret it. It's the type of experience where even if you walked out not liking it, which I just can't see, it'll still leave an imprint. That's kind of what movies should be. And yeah, if you guys made it this far, thanks so much for watching. And giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing would absolutely mean the world. I appreciate you all more than you know, and please, as always, do not forget to leave your thoughts below. I want to hear anything you guys have to say, maybe your favorite moments, your favorite scenes. Yeah, it's just a movie that left such a mark on me. I had to get my feelings off of my chest. Like, it's the type of movie that, you know, I think in a few months, there are certain moments and certain scenes, certain sequences, sounds, little things that will live in my head rent free. The first time you see Dennis Quaid in this movie, he's taking a piss, and it's amazing. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, do all that, guys. I appreciate you if you made it this far. But other than that, please stay safe, and hopefully I see you all in the next one.